What's up? I was thinking today about very, very, very religious people. Um, I think people who aren't raised around extremely religious people, um, they probably don't see some of the craziness that comes along with crazy religious people. Like, these are the type of people who also are like hypochondriacs and sue people a lot and are always the hero of the story and never do anything wrong, and their stories are very grandiose. You see these women like moths to the flame of institutions. So if you're raised in a religious cult and then you all of a sudden are exposed to the internet and you see like that your family is crazy or whatever, and you walk out of that and you think, okay, religion is the problem because look at how crazy these people are, and it's because of their religion. But then once you realize that there are also these exact type people like that are into like going to the doctor all the time and having like tons of diagnosis and like somehow they just never get better and things are always getting worse, and it's like the same type of mindset kind of. So it's not just, you realize it's not just religion, it's something else. So you need the other perspective of what it's like to be able to see it's not the faith. You need to see the other perspective of how people are just as programmable to become transgender and get lobotomies and like want to be medically suicided. Like what? This type of behavior, it goes all over the place, So I needed that perspective of being around like retarded liberals all the time to see that it's not religion that's the problem. And that's how I arrived to Catholicism. I just think it's a very practical solution to a lot of problems. And I'm not going to preach about that or anything like that. I'll just leave it at that because as a Catholic, I don't have to talk about it. But I will say this. I might disagree with Sam Harris on tons of stuff, but one thing he gets right is Islam is like a blight on society. I hope he still thinks that. That's the one that needs to go. Islam is the one that needs to go. I mean, it is disturbing as hell as a woman. I look at Islam and it's very repulsive to me, and I don't want it anywhere near me. And I hope to liberate those people over there because their faith is just so unenlightened. And I think that basing things on math is interesting. Like my whole thought process on duality, how I needed the religious experience and the non-religious experience to arrive at a foundation, and so a good foundation. So I think that duality is something that's just popped into my head as relevant. And so because I have the perspective that I do, a strong foundation of perspective, I feel even stronger that Islam is just something that doesn't do any good. It's bad for society. I think that it has no redeeming qualities. It does make people separate from other people. It does block love from happening. Yeah, I just think the world should become Catholic, and that would just... And then let's move on. Think about some other stuff. It has the ritual you need. It has the, like, meditation. It has the beautiful cathedrals. Like, that's... What more do you people need? And then your relationship with God, the rest is all on you, you know? My sister is really broken out in hives today, and she gets hives when she's fighting off viruses or when she's healing from an injury, or like even if she's too stressed out. I mean, it's crazy. I have survivor's guilt about that because I don't have that, and she gets hives all the time. And it made me think, so she had to stay home from work today, and she had to get a steroid, because even though steroids do help fight off virus, or steroids hinder from fighting off virus or whatever, her hives just get so out of control. Like one time, she was hospitalized because her hives were so bad, and it was so weird because she gets hives so frequently that I don't always know when she's having them really bad. And so one time she went to the hospital and I didn't even know, but I called her like the first thing the next morning, and I was like, dude, I had the craziest dream about you last night, me and you. And so I told her this dream that I had. Me and her had adopted a child from Russia, and we were like sobbing in my dream over this kid, and like I just told her, like, I just can't explain the sorrow we were having over this little girl. And I think there were more details than that, I just can't remember. And she was just like, oh yeah, well, you must have watched Oprah yesterday. And I was like, no, I don't think I've watched Oprah ever. Maybe I probably have, actually, but I've never thought it was entertaining at all. I've never thought her show was entertaining. And I think she's boring as hell. I don't understand the obsession with Oprah, honestly. Talk about industry plant. Okay. So anyway, she's like, yeah, well, I was at the ER yesterday, and I was in a room watching TV, and what was on the channel was Oprah, and the show was it was about some girl that was adopted out of Russia to the United States, and then she got adopted by a pedophile, and I think like her dad stabbed her or something in Russia, something like horrible like that, and then she got moved to the United States. And then she was adopted by a pedophile. And Kelly just said it was like the worst story ever. And anyway, I feel like I dreamt about what she's like, she was watching it and she just couldn't believe what she was hearing or whatever. And I just feel like I dreamt about what she watched. And anyway, that was like probably the trippiest twin dream thing that's ever happened between us. So yeah, I kind of had, so when I was 12, I found a Russian, like a language Russian book at a thrift store, and I tried to learn Russian. So that's kind of crazy too. But I think I just thought Russia was cool because I always watched their Olympics, and the gymnastics and the figure skaters were always so cool looking and picked the coolest music and did the coolest stuff. So I think I just, in my head, when I found that book, I'm like, oh, the Russians are cool. And then I had that dream with me and my sister. So yeah, sorry, a little tangent there. So I do think spiritual weird things can happen. But I also think that people need guidance because not everyone on the planet can have all the perspectives. And you just got to keep things simple and orderly, you know? And I think having the duality keeps things in order. And so, yeah, bottom line is Islam is the worst religion. Okay, there's going to be crazy. Like I said, any institution, the crazies are going to be moths to the flame. But Islam is the worst one. And I think that one is the one that just needs to be worked on. And I think everyone needs to kind of team up. And that's the one that needs to be, because it can't be reformed. I mean, they kill apostates. So, you know, there's no way to fix that. They believe in killing apostates. And yeah, I don't know. They're a theocracy. They do not care about what other people think. They only care about what their own religious government thinks. So it's, yeah. We should probably empower the Saudi royals or something. Because I think that goes against their religion to have royals. Because they're a theocracy. So, yeah. Those are my thoughts for the day. Have a good night.